What's going on, guys? Monomess here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today, I'm continuing my weekly Platinum Arena reset series, going over how I did in the last 15 minutes or so, offense, defense, etc. So let's just jump right into it. So this week, as you can probably tell from my thumbnail, I didn't do quite as well as I was hoping to compared to last week. Last week I finished outside of top 20. This week I finished inside of the top 20, but I was actually doing really well this week up until about the 10-minute mark where I make some mistakes and get a little unlucky, and that kind of tanked my scoring. So I felt I feel really good about how I did on offense this week, because what happens you'll see is fairly out of my hands. Just some game mechanics, but let's just talk about what I'm doing right now. So you'll see here, this is a team I haven't really used too much before, at least with these builds. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually running a Resistance Kymar, which I had built. You saw him the past couple of weeks. I was using him in the Siphi Rodos team, like the Siphi Rodos Brogni Kymar team. That was still the high resistance build. But now I'm trying him in a slightly different team. Somebody in my clan had really good success with this team, so I figured I'd give it a shot myself, and I feel like it worked pretty darn well against sort of like the top meta defenses. So basically what's going on is a lot of people are running these warlords with either high resistance and then they have low accuracy, or people are running them with like pretty high speeds, so their accuracy is pretty low. So then what happens is I'm able to run a Resistance Kymar and then use a Resistance lead, and then the Warlord locks out the rest of my team. Kymar unlocks my abilities, and then since I take a couple of turns for my team to get going, the enemy team usually takes their turns, burns their reaction, uses all of their buff abilities, etc., and then I'm able to strip them off with Madam and then nuke with Trunda. So what's a little bit dangerous here, instead of using like a more standard Kymar team, is that I only kind of have one rotation of my damage abilities from Trunda, and Swift Parry is obviously still a thing, so sometimes fights do take a little bit longer. We can see this fight right here going almost to 2 minutes, and something that I didn't do very well this week was, you'll see right there, I reset with Kymar, and then the enemy Warlord immediately went. So something I definitely need to do better going forward is kind of paying attention to the enemy warlords and how many turns they've taken, and if they're about to re-lock me out, then if I'm on a second rotation from Kymar, I need to make sure that I pause a turn and wait until for my reset. So about 13 minutes left here. I'm switching up my defense now. I'm going to put in the Ursuga, and you'll see I actually forget to place my my Ursuga AI, unfortunately. So I don't think it made a huge difference on how well or how poorly my defense performed, because after once there's about 8 minutes or so left, I drop down pretty far, so I don't think I'm even getting targeted too much. So this team we see here is a really interesting team. You'll see me hit it twice or 3 times total. They're using a Yannica, which really caught me off guard. I don't think she's particularly good in defense, but so I do my standard, get locked out by Warlord. I'm able to... actually, what happened on this first fight here, let me go back just a touch. Right, so yeah, so they're... oh, we're already into the fight here. But basically, hold on. Here we go. So the Warlord, I see here that my team full resists the Warlord. So instead of resetting with Kymar, I actually put their team to sleep. So I sleep the Yannica. She's running like a really fast build, apparently. I put her to sleep so she doesn't attack my team or anything like that. I strip in defense down with Madam, and then I'm just going to nuke with Trunda here. And I go with the A3 instead of the A2 because I didn't have defense down on Necrit, so I figured it was just better to try to nuke everybody. We go with the double A3 here. This is it's not like a super tanky Warlord because it's high resistance, but since it has that strengthen and ally protection on, it's very difficult to kill. But 40 seconds with the Necrit ally attack, pretty quick. So now you see me, I'm doing the run back on Karachi, and I probably should have realized from the previous fight, since it went about 130, 140, that maybe I shouldn't have hit him again, but I figure I'll give it another shot. I saw my Trunda resisted, but Madam didn't, so I had to reset. And I make a critical mistake there. I use my A2 on Duchess before she's taken a turn, and unfortunately, reaction is super fun and balanced. So she procs reaction on my Trunda A2, and it does basically no damage to the rest of the team. And now I'm in a pretty tough spot. I'm trying to just kind of cycle through my abilities here. Yeah, really not too fun of defense meta. And you'll see, and you saw there, that was a relentless hegemon. He took like 4 turns in a row. It's not so much that it doesn't really mess up my team too much. It's more so just to kind of, it wastes a lot of time with all the extra turns he's taking. So we see there the ally attack from Necrit is actually so powerful, so good. It finishes off the Warlord, and Duchess just revived, so now I throw it on auto. I know I can just kind of let it run on auto to be so that everything goes as fast as possible. And because I know that eventually I'll get back around to my Kymar, resetting my abilities, I'll strip, re-nuke with Trunda, and then we'll be good to go. But we're still pushing, close to a minute and a half here. Definitely not an ideal fight length. So we see the A2 there into, of course, she still had Swift Parry, but then I get my ability reset from Kymar A3 about a minute and a half. Again, that was a fairly safe win versus that team, but that was definitely a minute and a half is not ideal. And you see there, I check the leaderboard with about 10 minutes left, and I'm in second place right now. And we'll see here, I go back, and I think I hit platinum again. This Yannicka team here. And now we'll see here's where I kind of make a mistake. Unlucky or mistake, I think it's a mistake. So you see here, he actually locks out my Trunda. So I decide to go with the ability reset this time. And then due to Warlord reducing the turn meter on my Madam, but not on my Trunda, I figure, hey, they probably still, they still have reaction on the whole team. I'll just A1. I probably should have just A3 tried to nuke, but I wanted to save it because I just used my ability reset. But then what happens is Yannicka is not put to sleep, so she just targets and kills my Madam because she hits through shields. And then, unfortunately, I'm not able to nuke her through the ally protection, and then she, unfortunately, doesn't weak hit my Trunda because my Trunda is strong affinity versus her, and I lose. So now this time we see this person is running a really, really, really low accuracy Warlord, so my Trunda properly resists it this time. I'm able to put Yannicka to sleep with Kymar. She's not any threat, and then I strip nuke with Madam, and it's a nice, pretty clean, pretty fast win. So a little bit unlucky, a little bit my bad. I should have just taken the safe route, that first fight. I should have just slept with Kymar, because I knew that obviously Yannicka's a damage threat. Because I knew I had, Madam wasn't locked out, so I could strip, put decrease attack on her, and then it would have been safer to just sleep first, strip, put decrease attack, and then nuke with Trunda, and then reset and nuke with Trunda. But I tried to go for the faster win because I didn't think I was in danger of losing. Because my Madam on my offense team is actually extremely tanky. I'm fairly surprised that Yannicka killed her without increased attack, but I guess she hits through shields, so that's part of it. But yeah, so here we see here again, kind of the resistance Kymar at work. I resist the Warlord here. I save my Necrit A2 ability until I can probably actually hit people and do damage. I strip. Oh, this is where. Oh, okay. I wanted to point this out. So this is where. So you'll see here. Let me just go pause it really quick. So you're gonna see here. So my Madam triple resisted on these 3 champions, but then you see beneath debuff blocked, which means I got resisted on the stripping of buffs, and then my defense down, attack down, whatever, those just got blocked. I don't know if this can still check against resistance. I don't know if this is just automatic or what happens exactly, but I get multi 3% resisted on Madam. I believe he's running a I believe it's actually a very high resistance Duchess and a fairly high resistance Warlord. But I full strip. I mean, the Madam to my knowledge, excuse me, the Duchess to my knowledge is the highest resistance on this team. I full strip her, put defense down, and then you'll see here my Kymar, my resistance Kymar with 230 accuracy. strips and puts to sleep everybody. He full strips everybody, and then he just doesn't put Warlord to sleep, because I do believe Warlord has fairly high resistance on this team. But so basically, it's going to sound like I'm complaining, but I got crazy unlucky there to get either 2 or 3% resist, because no matter how high your accuracy is versus somebody's resistance, there's always a 3% chance that it won't work, right? Either 3% chance that you'll get resisted or 3% chance that you won't resist, no matter what you do. In terms of competitive, like, integrity, if you'll call it that, I don't think it's a good thing. In terms of the rest of the game, I don't think it's, like... I'm not so far in the boat of, like, it's a super unhealthy mechanic. I get why it's in the game for randomness. I don't really enjoy it, though. And right here, I should have definitely killed the Warlord here instead of trying to hit the Siphi. I could have procced that Swift Parry much earlier, and then I could have been trying to kill this team with Trunda's abilities instead of being locked out. So I was really tilted by those resists, and then I was just making bad decision after bad decision here. We're already at 1.5 minutes, and their team is at least half health. Duchess is full health, or Suga's full health. All of my abilities are on cooldown. I'm kind of just sitting here, like, I'm thinking I can get back around to a reset of my abilities and be okay. But I think this is where I talked about I need to do better with kind of timing my stuff. I saw that Warlord had just taken a turn, so I was like, okay, I can reset here. But Trunda went next, and I needed Madam to go before I did any damage abilities, and then Warlord just locks me out again. So it's like, I definitely could have played the end of this fight better. I could have just delayed one turn on Kymar. I could have properly stripped with Madam and then nuked with Trunda and maybe gotten a win. But you'll see here, 2 minutes, 20 seconds, I just back out. And of course, as is in my nature, I do the salty run back. I run it back, and you'll see it again. You'll see me get 3% resisted again. So we'll see here, I do the reset abilities, and then this time, the Duchess, I full stripped her and put defense down and attack down last time, but she resisted this time. So I think the Duchess is a high resistance Duchess. I don't think that was necessarily a pure 3% thing, but the Warlord definitely 3%ed me on the strip again. So now I'm fighting this team with Warlord, arguably the crutch, the main focus of this entire defense, is fully protected, and I can't hurt him at all with this. So we'll see here. I do my best. I try to I killed the Yasuga with an A2. I still have my Trunda A3, but he actually procs a Cycle of Magic on Siphi and gets back to his A2 the turn before I'm about to A3 nuke with Trunda, which I'm not saying if there wasn't increased defense, I would have wiped this whole team. Duchess most likely would have lived still, but basically I'm super frustrated from having back-to-back heavy RNG against me, and I just back out. So now that I went from basically like the 9-minute mark to the 5-minute mark, maybe the 10 to 5-minute mark, where not only did I not win on offense, I had 2 losses on offense. So that basically just killed my entire placement this week. We'll see here. I try to recover and get some wins. Same old thing here. A2 on the Ursuga is really strong because she's super high health, and I just kill her with the Kymar. Luckily, no Swift Parry proc. I still would have won with Swift Parry, but it would have taken another 15 seconds. Another team here, Duchess, Ursuga, Warlord, Hegemon. This high resistance Kymar did extremely well this week, and it was kind of only my fault that I did poorly. I could have won that first fight, and then it was my own choice to do a salty run back, so that's purely my fault. But here we go. We're kind of just cycling through our abilities. I'm hoping to just A2 on Ursuga with Trunda, wipes the whole team. Duchess comes back, or Duchess lives, revives, and then I'm hoping to come back around to Trunda A3. There's a Swift Parry proc, but she already revived, so it doesn't really matter. It's really important if you're running this team or like a Resistance Kymar, especially with Trunda, that against Duchesses, you kind of have to expect Swift Parry, because Swift Parry is really dumb, and it feels like it always procs. I know it doesn't. I know it's hopefully mathematically 50-50 in their system, but it feels like it always procs, right? So it's better to do your A2 ability as the initial nuke, especially against Ursuga, a really high health target, and then save the A3 for after Duchess revives, because Duchess revives post Swift parry. She's going to be really, really, really low health, reviving everybody else at 70%. So if you use A3 first and then A2 the Duchess, since everybody else is veiled, you can't target anybody else. It'll do basically no damage to the rest of the team because the damage is based off of the target's health. So we'll see there. I kind of refreshed. I looked for some faster fights. That person was running like a generic speed team, so I bring my speed team to try to beat it. And we'll see here. Actually, I almost lose this fight because of 3%. The Candrafon 3% resists my Warlord. He A2s here, and not only that, he 20%, he got the 20% mastery to counterattack my Siphi from sleeping, and then he 3% resisted Warlord, so he had his A2 ability still available. If he hadn't counterattacked Siphi, she wouldn't have died from it, he wouldn't have gotten an extra turn, and then I am able to cleanse his buffs off and Trunda kills. Now, if this person actually had his AI set correctly, I'm pretty sure he would have lost. If you put Candrafon on defense, you want to turn off his A3. You want him to just do A2 and then have, if he kills somebody, you want him to follow up with his A1 to hopefully just kill somebody else. That's usually much better than just self-buffing himself. So if that person had their AI set correctly, I would have lost another fight strictly based off of a 3% resist. So here we see, I do run my Kymar with one piece of reaction. I have a really, really, really good ring on him, so I run that on him. And we'll see here, I actually choose to A3 there instead of A2. So the first thing was I knew Kymar had his reset again, so I could just reset nuke again. But the second thing was Necrit with the ally protection on Duchess. I didn't land defense down on Necrit. I got 3% resisted. So I didn't want to A2 the Necrit because it wouldn't hit as hard. So those two things combined is why I A3'd into Kymar reset again, strip A3. So now we're kind of down to the last couple of minutes here. Another team, I'm just hitting it with this resistance team. Yeah, I know it's probably not super fun watching teams like this, or at least the same offense every time, but this offense is extremely effective. And you'll see there I hit Gataga, 14-second win, ally attack with the Necrit finishes his team off, and I'm kind of spamming looking for a fight at the end here. About 25 seconds left now. I look for a team that I know I can beat, but I need to get lucky. So unfortunately, I don't get super lucky. Their team is really fast and wasting a lot of time taking turns. So I reset strip with Madam. I'm throwing it on auto here. Normally I should A2 in case, or actually I do A2, but then she gets off the revive. We're already kind of a little too close here, 25 seconds. I really needed Trunda to just go and kill somebody here. 30 seconds, the reset's already done now, unfortunately. Yeah, so even if the Duchess didn't even proc Swift parry, I just wasn't strong enough to kill her on the first go, which is unfortunate, but yeah. 40-something seconds for this win is really not bad in the grand scheme of things, but it wasn't quite fast enough to get it in for the reset. So yeah, that was a lot of talking at the end there. I think I did extremely well on offense this week, other than a couple of very small mistakes. It was literally just I got heavily RNG fested against me. With 10 minutes left, I was in second place. I know a lot can happen in that 10 minutes, but if I had spent those 5 minutes winning, who knows? I'm not saying I would have guaranteed gotten first, anything like that, but I would have probably contested top 5, top 3, maybe top 1, top 2. You know, I was pretty on point on offense. So really frustrated by that this week. That's kind of why this video is a little bit delayed. But you'll see here I got 18th. Still in the top 20 is nice, so that I get the extra 2 pieces of gear. But yeah, kind of disappointed, honestly, because I felt like I was feeling it. I was doing really well on offense, and then just the game screwed me over, right? It wasn't fully, it was like 95% the game, 5% me. So anyways, next week I have to do better with this team. I have to make sure I count, or to the best of my ability, like count Warlord turns and make sure I do a better job of when I reset with Kymar and look at my turn orders and stuff like that. So I can still do better, right? And I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm still I'm still hungry for arena, more trophies, etc. And I hope you guys are still enjoying these videos and are going to keep watching them. So anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you could please look at the description below. If you can check out my Twitch stream and join my Discord. I definitely stream a lot more than I put out YouTube videos. I'm trying to do better about getting more balance to kind of bring YouTube up into the mix. But I stream quite a bit. I stream usually 4 times a week. Otherwise, please join my Discord. Whether you are interested in getting a takeover by me, I do arena takeovers, dungeon takeovers, etc. I don't really do clan boss, but if you're interested in a takeover, join my Discord. You can get in contact with me there. Or if you just want a community to kind of hang out with and talk raid, you can join it for that as well. But I will see you guys on a new video soon. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.